Okay, Akash, if you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, so before starting the class, just mention your name and write present in the chat box. Students, mute your microphone. All the students are requested. Mute your microphone and also off your front camera. And students also off your front camera. So natural vegetation and wildlife. So in this chapter, before starting the main topic, there is a story given in your book. So story about Salima's excursion, that Salima, a girl, was excited about the summer camp she was attending, and she had gone to visit Manali in Himachal Pradesh along with her classmates in a school excursion, and she recalled how surprised she was to see the changes in the landform and natural vegetation. As the bus climbed higher and higher, the deep jungles of the foothills comprising shal and teak slowly disappeared. She could see tall trees with thin printed leaves and cone shaped canopies on the mountain slopes. So, what is canopies? Canopy means an umbrella like shape when trees, all the leaves and branches together, it looks like an umbrella like shape. It is called canopy. But in the when Salima climbed higher altitude regions, so what happened? The canopies looks like this, okay, because the trees are quite different, okay, and she noticed and she learned that those are coniferous trees, and she noticed blooms of bright flowers on tall trees, and these were called rhododendrons. From Manali, as she was traveling up to Rotang Pass, she saw that the land was covered with short grass and snow in some places. So three different type of vegetation was there. Salima saw three different type of natural vegetation in three different altitude on the mountain range. So from Salima's observation, we summarize that there is a close relationship between the height of land and the character of vegetations. So with the change of height, the climate changes, that changes natural vegetation. Okay. Except this, some other things also responsible for the growth of natural vegetation in one place, at one place. So these things are Number one, the temperature. Number two, moisture. Number three, the slope. Number four, the thickness of soil. As well as the climatic conditions already mentioned here. Okay, so these are the four major things that responsible for the natural vegetation of any place. Okay. So first we have to know what is natural vegetation. So from the beginning we are discussing about the natural vegetation. So what is natural vegetation? That's those vegetation, means those vegetation grown without any human intervention, okay, naturally. So these are called natural vegetation, okay. And natural vegetation, about and depending on the type and thickness of natural vegetation, these are classified in the three major category. These are: number one, forests; number two, grassland; and number three, the shrubs. Hello students. Okay, so again we are back. So forest, grasslands and shrubs. Okay, so forest, grasslands and shrubs. Shrubs are mainly with thorny bushes, okay. So what are the regions where this type of different vegetations are grown? That forest which grow where temperature and rainfall are plentiful to support a tree cover. Depending upon these factors, dense and open forests grown in different part of the world, okay. So forests are where the temperature and rainfall are plentiful, a very hot and humid place with lot of rainfall occurred. So natural forests were very often very common on these regions. Number two, these are grasslands, and grasslands can be seen in those regions with moderate rainfall, okay. So the region where moderate rainfall occurred, this is grasslands emerge on those regions. And last one, the shrubs can be seen on dry regions, mainly the desert areas where rainfall is very less, okay. So these are the three major categories. So now what was there? Salima was sharing her experience of Himalayan trip with her father. When Shalima returned from the excursion, he shared her experience of Himalayan trip with her father. Her father visited various places in the world, and he told Salima about his observations of the variety of vegetation in different parts of the different continents. And he mentioned about coniferous forest in the subpolar regions, thorny bushes in the deserts, and thick tropical hardwood forests in the humid regions, and many more. So Salima realized the Himalayas have almost all variety of vegetation which one can see while moving from the equator to the polar region. Okay. So from this we can understood that the height is the main thing. So in Himalayan regions, if we travel from the slope of the Himalayan region up to the top of the mountain, then we can see different type of vegetations in different levels. So the changes in the type of natural vegetation occur mainly because of the climatic conditions and the soils and the slopes already mentioned here. So let us get to know some of the different type of natural vegetation. First we are going to start with the forests. So there are different forests present in the world as per their vegetation. So first one we are going to discuss, it is the tropical evergreen forest. And the most famous tropical evergreen forest and the most famous tropical evergreen forest, it is the Amazon. Okay. It is the forests of Amazon. And the Amazon rainforest is called the lungs of the earth because these green lashes, these green canopies absorbed most of the carbon dioxide and other poisonous gases from the air, and it helped to clean the air. Okay. But recently a devastated forest fire, okay, destroyed a part of that Amazon rainforest. So another animal that was found in the forest of Amazon, that is anaconda, and one of the world's largest snakes, and is found in tropical rainforest. Okay. So what are the main features of tropical rainforest like Amazon? That these thick forests occur in the regions near the equator and close to the tropics. These regions are hot and receive heavy rainfall throughout the year, as there is no particular dry season. So if I draw the globe, so this is the equator, this is the Tropic of Cancer, and this is the Tropic of Capricorn. So mainly this type of forest we can see these regions. Okay. North and south of the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. So these regions, the most of the dense forests or tropical rainforest of the world can be seen in this region, in this tropical region. Okay, this is Tropic of Cancer, this is Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, like Amazon forest also situated near in this region near Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, so why these regions are, these forests are always looks green and called evergreen? Because the trees do not shed their leaf in a particular season. In other forests the trees shed their leaf, all the trees shed their leaf in a particular season, such as winter season. But in this type of forest, in tropical evergreen forests, the trees shed their leaf in different seasons. So that's why always the forest looks green, and the thick canopies of the closely spaced trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside the forest even in the daytime. So that's why the soil became very much muddy and sticky. And what are the trees grown in this forest? The hardwood trees like rosewood, ebony and mahogany. And these trees are very good for making furnitures. Okay, students. Okay, so if you have any question from this topic, you can ask me. Okay, so from this topic, what are the important points points you have to remember? These are the three different type of vegetation, natural vegetation, and what are the conditions responsible for natural vegetation, such as I have already mentioned previously. These are the thickness of soil, the slope of ground, and the moisture and temperature. And what are the important trees grown in the tropical evergreen forest? These are ebony, mahogany and rosewood. Okay, students, so that's all from today's class. Next class we are going to discuss the tropical deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest and the temperate deciduous forest. So thank you, bye.